That's okay. We're gonna need to start over, and I know that's gonna be on the intro anyway. Welcome, listeners, to My Fantasy Wife, the weekly sports meets comedy meets marriage podcast, where a husband and a wife discuss sports, fantasy leagues, and their impact on pop culture and relationships, including their own. I'm the wife, comedian Blair Postman.
Hey.
I'm joined by my husband, who is also a sports stat expert, Mr. Gary Hames.
And Jewish.
Woohoo! I hope so. Our hot topics and social media maven this week is local TV personality Wills Maxwell.
How goes it?
It goes. And rounding things out, sound engineer, comedian, and man about town, Mr. Louis Bishop.
Hi.
Hi. To never miss our weekly episodes and extras, subscribe in iTunes, Stitcher, or YouTube. Find us on Facebook and Instagram at My Fantasy Wife Podcast, Twitter at My Fit Wife, and support the podcast by liking and rating us in iTunes. Miss any of that? Just go to our website, myfantasywife.com, with links to everything. Gary.
Yes?
Mr. Handsome Man, will you tell us about this week's sponsor?
Sure, Blair. This week's sponsor is Podhive. Podhive matches small to medium-sized podcasts and matches with paying advertisers in the areas where those podcasts have their strongest fan bases. Now signing up new podcasts. Go to podhive.com for more information. That's podhive.com. And guess what, Blair?
What?
It's free.
Whoa.
And for those who want to start their own podcast or upgrade their hosting through Libsyn, use the promo code PodHive for humongous discounts. That's discount code PodHive.
All right. You want to do one big Podhive just
No,
for
it's
kicks?
all
All right. All right, guys. Wait, is it coming? Oh. All right, guys. Hey, fun stuff already here at the podcast that I'm pretty sure wasn't recorded. God, I hope not. Good to have you this week, Wills.
Good to be here. I'm very excited.
Do you have Twitter on your phone?
I do, yeah.
Because we're going to want to look at the My Fantasy Wife Twitter feed. Drew Harrison, you remember Drew?
Fella used to work around here.
Yeah, fella, nice guy. Used to work around here. Don't know what happened to him. Pet nurse. He went to the Panthers game today and was live tweeting from the My Fantasy Wife Twitter feed.
How do you like them bones?
I have a feeling as of this airing.
How'd that taste, Drew?
Yeah, I don't think it went well. So I'm interested to hear.
Hold on, did they lose?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
now
they
he gets
lost.
to drive back 4 hours in the rain.
Really?
Yeah, they lost.
I thought they were winning.
Well, not
Well, that's what
at
makes
the
it all the
part
worse.
that mattered. They weren't. And
The end?
Yeah, at the end,
Right.
exactly, Lewis.
Yeah.
You're so sharp. So yeah, we're gonna look at that feed and see like how he descends into madness throughout.
Yeah,
the
it's
game.
like what's that famous book where they go up the river and find the rogue?
The Heart of Darkness?
Yeah, it's like that. He's at the end of the river now.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
I never read it, but I feel like that's
You've
not
seen the
good.
movie.
Not really, but okay.
You haven't seen the movie?
No, I don't
It's a very
think.
famous movie.
You mean Apocalypse Now?
Yeah.
I've seen parts of the movie, and I really love quoting from it to make jokes.
Okay.
Like, I love the smell of...
Nothing says humor like Apocalypse Now.
Well, there's a couple of lines. Like, if you change things to... I love the smell of insert X in the morning. Smells like victory. But instead of napalm, you say something like, I don't know, cat litter.
I saw her standing in the bathroom the other day holding a test tube that said insert X.
Yeah.
I was like, which insert are up to, honey? And she goes, oh, today we're trying insert X.
Is that a joke from before when I left the room? Okay, listeners, this is how inside the inside jokes are now. We were talking about something that I'm just not going to go into, and I left the room, and I heard them all laughing hysterically because obviously a joke was told. So I am now outside of the inside jokes.
Right.
I am not part of it anymore. That's how far we've come. All right, guys. How you doing, Mr. Bishop?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. I'm coughing a little bit less this week.
I see that.
I
You're
know.
doing good.
Thanks. So far, so good.
Right.
So he installed the cough button for nothing.
Oh, that would be awesome if we had one, though.
I've got Drew's feed up, and it's just tweets, but I can see like a line graph that perfectly charts his enthusiasm.
Like,
It's
hit us with like a couple of the starter upbeat ones, like.
Well, okay. Well, at the beginning, he talks about how the Panthers are doing a good job honoring the troops. Their tribute.
That was quite
Yes, it
quite
was
an
a big
intro.
It was a big intro. We saw that.
And then Of course, the Panthers score while I'm in the bathroom. I'm going to spend the rest of the game in here.
Yes,
Doesn't
I saw that
smell
one.
too bad.
Well, you can't do coke in your seat.
Well, I was telling him.
You
Well,
have to be in the boxes for
I
that.
don't-
Right.
The
I don't-
boxes.
I don't know if that's true, but we can always fact check it if
Okay.
it's not true.
If you can't do cocaine in a
Right.
Panthers game.
I said America
Not in your
appreciates.
seat.
I tweeted back at him that America appreciated, or America's Panther fan appreciated his dedication. And then what happens there?
Okay, so then we got another one. A few minutes later,
Yeah.
touchdown, bunches of funches. Casey versus Carol.
Oh, that's where his hope is restored.
Yes, he's in good mood at that point.
Yeah.
The people behind me are speaking French, but just told someone they're from Ohio. I'm so confused. Hashtag Paris, Ohio.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Uh-huh.
That seemed a
That was
little.
during the period where the Panthers' offense had slowed down, but he hadn't quite figured out they were losing
Right.
yet.
Yeah. Right.
All right, and then from 1 hour ago, nail biter. Hashtag Casey versus Carr. Back to the bathroom. ... Maybe we can score again. Hashtag Casey versus Carr. Hashtag Go Panthers. And then the second to last one. Well, football is officially over for me this year. Hashtag see you next season. Followed immediately by alcohol and opposing teams' fans always mesh so well.
Oh.
I actually have Drew up on the phone if you want to go to him.
Oh,
real
sure.
quick.
Wait.
Oh yeah, let's go to Drew.
Hey, Drew.
Hey, Drew.
How'd you like the game? Oh. Oh, he must have it on speaker.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, he did not take it well.
What are you doing next Sunday?
Guess who just got promoted to full-time social media maven? All right. Hey,
Well, now that I know that you guys pay for your social media mavens to go watch Panthers games, I'm really excited to take the job.
yeah, he got that somehow. Not
Is that what Einstein meant when he said, "Out of the greatest tragedies come the greatest opportunities"?
sure is.
Okay.
Of course, it's exactly what he meant. Hey guys,
Always a promotion somewhere.
yeah, let me tell you a little bit. We've got now Aparna Nancherla had a sudden thing come up last week, but we're trying to reschedule for December or January, so she'll be on. Hold tight, Aparna fans. This week we have comedian and actor from Community, Brady Novak. Woohoo! And then coming up on episode 94, next week is comedian Sam Evans.
Yay!
Woo-hey! And episode 95, we got comedian Quincy Jones out of Los
Yay!
Angeles. Yay! And then episode 96, we have comedian Aaron Foley and host of Sports Without Balls. And then 97, we have Sam Talent. And then Ahmed Barucha is going to be on in January. Lots of big surprises. Oh, is this the Panthers'
Jones.
new song?
No, it's Quincy Jones.
Here we were before. I thought he was a producer, not a singer.
Quincy Jones is a
Nothing never
performer.
changes. We're back to being strangers.
Renaissance man.
If we all stay, we'll head out.
Executive
out
producer
the
of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
door. Just once. Could the Panthers win a game at their home field?
Nope. No, they can't.
Will Drew's cocaine addiction ever yield?
I doubt it.
I'm feeling lots of feels. Okay, that's about what I can do.
Yeah, okay.
All right, I thought that was not
That
bad.
was quite good. You have a lovely voice when you're not sick.
Thank you.
You are.
Thank you very
The
much.
Weird
Are you sick?
Al of Quincy Jones sports parodies.
Yes, there's just so much material to work with this week. Lots going on, guys. Okay, so fun upcoming guests, and we're gonna do just a little bit of fact checking. I know it's the change music, but I feel good when we play it before the fact checking. Can we do that?
Nice roasted fact chicken.
It's not. Yes, Will's Gary.
I like white meat, please.
Immediate fact check.
Fact checking, yeah, meal. It comes with biscuits and,
And fries.
hush puppies.
Seasoned
yeah,
fries.
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
All right, we're doing fact checking. Listeners, this is the part of the podcast where we correct the mistakes we made last week to make room for the mistakes.
since-
Can I please just finish this? You know it's going to end soon. It's the same every week.
Okay.
I mean, I'm the one with ADD. So what's going on over there?
I'm just concerned that all that roast is not going to get eaten.
Well, no, we're gonna. Can we just if we have a fat chicken?
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Can I have the?
Can I please just finish this? Was the alternate title of my fantasy wife for those that
Yeah,
didn't know.
that's right.
That
Can I
was-
please just finish this?
It's just-
Welcome, listeners. Can I please just finish this?
That sounds like an NPR podcast. That sounds
It
like,
does. Or game show.
yeah.
Little brainy game
You
show.
know, it's funny too because I spent years being classically trained in proper radio etiquette, and you would think that would not be an issue.
I know.
The rest of you would take those courses too. We could mesh like a finely, tuned unit.
Yeah, I know. This is what's holding us back.
Go back to school.
Gosh, I don't think I can take on any more student loans. Can I have some change music, Mr. Bishop, please? Some change music. Okay, guys, time to do some fact checking.
Okay.
This is the part of the podcast, listeners, where we correct the mistakes we made last week to make room for the mistakes we're going to make this week.
Right.
All right, the first one I don't have the answer to, but I want us to look into very deeply. Drew said he had a 4.0 grade point average upon high school graduation.
I explained to you that was on a 100-point scale.
Yeah, Gary thought it was on a 100-point scale. I said I was pretty sure it was on a 4-point scale, but I just need some verification. That's all.
All right, so you want me, if I'm understanding you correctly, you want me and Bishop to commission a team.
You know what
to
you need
break
to do.
into Drew's high school.
Yes.
Go find his transcript and
Right.
report back.
Old-timey style. Like, don't use computer systems.
Okay.
Like, do it like old school.
And if someone gets in our way, we have your permission to kill them. If
no,
we get discovered,
do something
go
wacky
south.
to get out of trouble.
Okay.
Yeah. Do
Like-
more Scooby-Doo. I'm
Okay.
thinking Scooby-Doo.
In fairness,
So our mission,
mean-
should we choose to accept it,
Right.
is to go out to Southern Pines,
Yeah, uh-huh.
break in through the ceiling,
You got it.
break through the firewall, which is literally just a wall of fire.
Right. They can't afford
with
a lot of
flame
technology.
retardant
It's North
clothing.
Carolina. Yeah.
Go into the file cabinet, find Drew's transcript,
Right.
and if someone should discover that we are in the building at that time, we are to wackily and comedically kill them.
if you could do one of the scenes with the 4 doors on
Not-
either side of the hall where they're chasing you back and forth and
Yeah.
different things come out.
No, I'm thinking more of that. Not so much the killing. Everything up into the killing,
Okay,
but not including
we are
the
on
killing.
the same page. I am seeing you're winking.
No,
We already
no,
know.
no.
I see you
No
winking.
killing.
No, no,
Ammo's in
no
the trunk.
killing.
Ammo's in the trunk.
No killing.
No killing. I
No
got
killing.
you.
All
All
right.
right.
In all fairness, it's possible that Drew got a 4.0 because he achieved that grade before President-elect Trump fixed the educational system.
Okay. Wow. Okay, guys. A little more fact checking here. We were talking
Just
to.
say it.
Will, to the other room, quick!
Don't. It's okay. Blair winked at me.
Pick up the gun!
We were never here.
Oh, that's not. Those didn't even have silencers. All right, guys.
Oh, so now our orders are to use silencers.
Look.
Got it.
Okay.
We heard it loud.
We heard it loud and clear.
All right, guys, we were talking to our friend and emergency fill-in guest, improv guru Topher Bellavia, and he suggested that Phil Jackson coach
hey.
the Phillies.
Nah.
He did not coach the Phillies.
I'm sorry we didn't ask him what city the Phillies were based in.
Right.
That would have been even
That was a
funnier.
missed opportunity.
Yeah.
The San Francisco Phillies.
A lot comes up in this podcast, and we don't always get a chance to go down every road. But yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been a good one. And then I wanted to correct the quote. I was talking about how cool Lando Calrissian was, who, by the way, was our guess of the 2024 Republican nominee from our bracket. And the line to Princess Leia that I was trying to quote goes thusly: "You look absolutely beautiful. You truly belong here with us among the clouds."
Oh,
Does
That
anyone
music from
want-
the Colt 45 commercial needs to be playing in the background.
No,
when he says
does
that.
anybody want to try to say it cooler than that? He said it pretty coolly. No? All right. I was giving them.
I'd feel very tokenish if I tried. So
No,
I'll just leave. We'll just leave
I thought
that on.
Mr. Bishop would.
I can't match Billy D. Williams.
Okay, none of us can. It's fine. Well, that's why he's going to be the Republican nominee in 2024, God willing.
He's the smoking jacket king.
I guess he is. Yeah. You know, he came back and is their spokesperson now again,
Resurrected, you mean?
so to speak. Yes, he's the Colt 45.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's
Because
back.
that's the only time when anyone knew what Colt 45 was.
Yeah.
Was
Right.
He got
back
hired
in-
away by King Cobra, and then the money ran out, and he...
I want to know what this is about.
The, what do you call the sound guys?
Foley artist?
Yeah, the Foley artist is working on
Yeah.
this one.
Wow, you've got a whole other career ahead of you. Oh, that's a different Colt 45.
Yeah, that's a little further back in history.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna go into hot topics. Can I get a little change music there, Mr. Bishop, or whatever strikes your fancy? Okay, so So my fantasy wife tweeted out on election night, hey, go ahead and give us your pick of who's going to win the election and the breakdown of the electoral college. And granted, we didn't have a ton of participation, but the closest
I was asleep. I'm sorry.
The closest winner was Wills Maxwell, and he picked Clinton to win 304 over 233.
Of course, he was picking George Clinton.
Oh, no, I was so certain that Parliament of Funk was going to
Right.
take it this year.
There would be some change.
Tell you what,
There would be some change in this country.
there
if
would
that
be
happened.
some change.
There are a parliament. I mean, how could they not take the electoral
Yes,
college?
right. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure Mr. Bishop will find something appropriate along those lines
sure
for
he
us.
would.
Oh, but so do I get the victory song?
Well,
Do I
you do get a
choose?
victory song. So should you pick a George Clinton
Oh.
song, or do you have something else in mind? You got something there?
I got something in mind. I'm showing it to Mr. Bishop on my screen. What's there at the bottom of it?
Yeah. So that was, and just to be clear to our listeners, this is the closest entry we got to being right.
Oh, did he
Yeah.
win? He wins?
He won with that.
He won the
Oh, yeah.
prize?
Yes.
By being,
The week in Hawaii, he won that?
even though the actual results was almost exactly the opposite.
Opposite.
Almost, yeah.
Right. So you
Because I followed 538, and
that was it starts with an earth. Yeah, this is popular this week in the call-in shows. Yeah. Eye of the Hurricane. I'm surprised you know this song.
well, it is at the beginning of my favorite movie ever, Independence Day.
Oh, okay.
Because much like Independence Day, I also have zero subtlety.
Right. Whew. All right. Do we have to wait till the chorus?
If you please.
Well, while we're doing that, Gary, is there anything to talk about in college football?
Yes. Yesterday was one of the great disastrous days in the history of college football.
Oh, well, that's appropriate song then.
Yeah. 5 of the... This is the first of the 666 seals of the apocalypse unlocking.
As we know it, it's the end
Yeah.
of the world. I think Wills and I are doing a pretty good job considering how
Yeah.
we're both devastated.
Oh, no, I have not left my bed all week.
Oh.
This is a first.
I thought when I talked to you yesterday, you sounded very sleepy.
Yeah,
At
no.
like 4 in the afternoon. Okay.
I
So
thought it was
I'm
just your-
so I'm right to worry about you then.
Oh, remember when I started drinking and I was assuring you guys that it wasn't going to be a problem?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't know this was going to happen.
Yeah, we knew that was not true.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Barring a racist becoming the president, I didn't realize I
I'm
was
not
going
going
to
to become an alcoholic, guys. What is that, like a racist going to be president?
Come on. What the guy who ran Celebrity Apprentice and hit on every woman that was on it? Like he's going to be the president? No,
I don't think so.
I don't even like beer that much, guys.
Oh, I prefer Jack Daniels. All right, can we? So
What
Gary,
happened to my college football?
Oh, okay, we got a little
Yeah.
distracted. I'm
There-
sorry.
This is a sports show,
Can we
so let's
please-
talk
Is it,
about
though?
sports for a minute.
Is it a sports
yes,
show?
it's a sports show, so let's talk about sports for a minute.
Can we please just let
Sports.
Gary finish?
So now that the presidential election has occurred, as I discovered in my extensive biblical studies, there are 666 signs of the apocalypse. If we can unlock them all, Michael will meet Lucifer on the battlefield, and if they're not interrupted by a hot guy in a classic car, they'll settle the whole,
that was
Armageddon
about,
thing.
That was about.
That's my years of intensive religious study, Blair.
Or it's the theme from the Supernatural show.
Yeah. So
Yes, Gary's course in biblical studies is 1 hour at a time over 10 seasons or so. 13
yes,
seasons.
right. So, which I've been studying a lot longer than people with
Coincidence?
PhDs.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yes, we'll be getting that PhD in the mail any day.
Yes.
Truly the Gunsmoke of supernatural religious
It
shows.
really is. And that's
I already
quite
have my Patrick Henry degree.
Okay. All right, hon.
I do actually.
I PhD. I know Patrick Henry High School. I get it.
We like to
I
say that
know.
to each other in the rural Virginia area from which I come.
Yeah, I know. So college
Got
football.
my PhD.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Patrick Henry degree.
I know. Okay.
I like that. I've never heard that before. I like that.
Well, why would you?
Guess what my high school name was?
Patrick.
Yeah.
Patrick Henry.
All right.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. College.
Anyway, lots of teams lost.
Yeah. Anyone in particular?
The number 2, 3, and 4 teams all lost.
Who's number one? Alabama.
Alabama won like 800-0, but
Oh, okay.
the other three all got trampled, and it's going to throw the. As you know now, they select 4 teams to be in a tournament at the end of the year, and when your 2, 3, 4 teams win in the third to last weekend of the season, it throws. I believe the exact literary term for this is higgledy-piggledy.
Oh, wow, that sounds bad.
Yeah.
And yet also it sounds like something from Helter Skelter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying it's going to be difficult to determine the top 4 teams when 3 of them lost. And a loss in college football is a big deal. Like, your NFL team can lose a game, still win the Super Bowl. Not so often in college football.
I'm sorry to bring this up, and it's a digression, and it's not on the sheet, but when I said it reminded me of Helter Skelter, I suddenly just thought of, oh my God, Donald Trump could could pardon Charles Manson. Who else could he pardon?
Could Clinton. She could have pardoned him too if she was president.
But I mean, like,
that comes with the office.
no, it's more not that he's going to pardon Charles Manson.
They would have allowed her to pardon him just because she's a woman.
But,
They would have let her do that.
I'm
Sorry,
just,
Madam
I'm
President,
saying, like,
you
I
can do
wonder
whatever. I didn't mean
who
to question
he
you.
would pardon is more what I was going for.
Right.
Like, not that he would pardon Charles Manson. I wonder, like,
Celebrity Apprentice needs to kick up a notch this season.
right?
Who
Exactly.
can I get?
Like,
who can I get?
Is the
OJ?
Beretta guy? What happened with him? Is he dead now?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll pull O.J. Simpson out of jail and make him a dean at Trump University.
What about that billionaire who the HBO documentary got arrested for murder?
Durst?
Yeah, he could.
I don't really know.
I'm trying to think like who he would pardon. Like surely the hottest ladies.
The guy that shot John Lennon? I met John Lennon before,
And you're no John Lennon, sir.
I didn't like him.
Right, exactly.
So you heard the news and you were like, eh.
He was a communist. He led the biggest communist country in the world. Why were you going to like him? We're
That's a
for
different
freedom.
That's a different Lenin.
You're
different Lenin.
you're-
and he didn't actually.
You're on Lenin.
And yeah, I
I don't know what that means.
But honestly, I didn't know that until you
But
said
this
that he
is-
led the communist nation. Because when you're like, he's a communist, I still thought we were talking about the same
Yeah, I
Lenin.
know. I'm
And
like,
I was
okay,
like,
well,
that's fair.
That's one person's interpretation. I don't agree.
I
He
say
made a
he's-
lot of money. He kept the money.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
yeah.
Okay.
I say he's a dreamer, but like you could say communist.
Okay, you know, tomato.
He made all that money, and he's like, you know what?
Keeping it.
I'm keeping it, but I don't like the way this is going.
All right.
This doesn't feel like happiness.
No.
I'm going to combine a couple of things here, guys. And the NBA, the NHL are happening.
Hold on, I have one question for you.
Yes, Mr. Bishop, please.
Is there any other undefeated teams in college football right now?
Besides Alabama.
Like Boise State or someone like that, that's always under the radar but on the radar kind of, but doesn't get the national attention.
Most of them have lost. Like Houston and Louisville were the two that were, in the teens to start the year, and then they were those small schools and they won. But now they've lost, so I don't know. I don't know.
All right, can I have a little...
I have one more question.
Oh,
Sure.
my God.
I
What?
just have one more question.
Okay.
Hey, I have 10. It's a sports show.
Do you think that maybe
Is it, Gary?
do you think maybe Donald Trump might pardon those losses and get the top 4 back in?
Oh, that could...
I'm not sure he has
What
that
if he
power.
What if he stocked the Supreme Court with a bunch of judges who disagreed with the decision to only award the USFL $1 in their lawsuit against the NFL in the 80s?
But I don't think he can undo that.
Oh,
he
if
can't
Herschel
go
Walker is
back.
back on the New Jersey Generals next year, I'm going to be so excited.
Okay. All right, can I have a little change music, please? All right, Gary, NBA's back. NHL's back. Anything that we need to know about this? What's going on? What's happening?
Absolutely nothing about the NBA and the NHL is important until about March.
The NBA season is very weirdly set up to me this year, just because it almost feels like the season of a TV series. Like as far as like we had like a bunch of like reunion matches back to back.
Right.
Tonight on a very
during sweeps.
Yeah, exactly.
Tonight on a very special Cleveland Cavaliers game.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I will
Today-
say that I'm not sure if anyone in this room is aware of this because it doesn't make any difference. But guess who has the best record in the NFL? I mean, the NBA.
Who?
Who's that?
That would be your Charlotte Hornets.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
What?
amazing.
7-1 as of
You-
yesterday.
And it's so interesting that none of us know.
I
Yeah.
had a strong
didn't
suspicion that would
realize
be the
that.
case.
You are correct, sir.
All right, so currently undefeated college football teams is Alabama and Western Michigan.
There you go, Lewis. You can root for Western Michigan.
Yeah, there you go. I like
There's your
that.
spoiler.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's your underdog to root for. There's your
Number
Bernie
21.
Sanders of college football.
Yeah, we lost Clemson and Washington and somebody else yesterday, and we lost 5 of the top 10. Lost.
right. So instead of doing
665 to go.
Instead of doing a full-on fantasy league, what do you guys think about doing something for NHL and NBA that's more like a pick 5 or 3, or who's going to score the most points each week? Or is there anything like that we can do?
There's actually there might be something that might be fun. I don't know if they still do this. I used to play this when I was in high school, but there was like an NBA stock exchange where it wasn't so much like matchups, but you get your players and their stock value rises along with their stats. So basically, we could just do that, and then each week check in on like who's got the most valuable team. All right.
Mr. Bishop doesn't.
It is.
He's making fun of me, Wills, not you. Just so you
I'll
know.
think for him.
I mean, it's just constantly. Would still be constantly changing your lineup, but it wouldn't be head-to-head games.
All right. I'm okay. I might be interested in that.
What about fantasy highlight?
Oh, okay.
Better.
Interesting. All right. Well. So if I did,
Maybe we could take a field trip to a fronton.
Is that like?
That's where they play highlight.
Oh, okay. Is that those indoor courts that look like humongous, like
With those
racquetball
big,
courts?
long lacrosse sticks that look like
Yeah.
a run over by a truck.
Which in some episode early on, we looked up what those were called.
Yeah.
We only have
Yeah,
10
I
topics.
should know that. If you know fronton, you really should know what the stick is
You really
called.
do, and it's not that animal that they slice open to save Luke Skywalker.
You know what a
in
polo
Empire
period
Strikes
is called?
Tauntaun.
Yeah, what's that?
Polo period. You know what a period in polo is called?
A quarter,
It's a chucker.
a chucker. Oh, I didn't know that. It was a very Trivial Pursuit
Mm-hmm.
question. That's very 80s. All right, can I have another change of music?
Wills, sell everything. The Hornets just lost.
What do you mean they just lost? I've been counting on that logo coming back to me and everything. I can't.
You're gonna sell now.
I lost everything in LeBron James futures.
Is this window open wide enough?
Somebody got an advance look at the orange juice report.
Things hasn't.
They were dressed as a gorilla. I'm not sure who it was, but he's thrown the whole thing into a frenzy.
Wills, get yourself together. You bought Greg Oden. You can handle this. You can handle this, Wills.
It's okay if I spill water near the electrical stuff,
Yeah,
right?
that's totally
yeah.
fine.
Okay, that's fine.
No, yeah, do it. Do it.
There's a lot going on in the spacious My Fantasy Wife studios.
Why does that guy on the floor bidding on the basketball stock have a salmon hanging out of his Santa suit? I don't get it.
Listeners, Gary wants you to know that this is about trading places.
Yes.
They're very famous ending. And if some of you youngsters who have not seen Trading Places, you really should. It's quite enjoyable. All righty.
Yeah, you get to see Jamie Lee Curtis topless.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of,
You got a
it's a little
receipt?
tame now.
No. Then in Philadelphia is worth $50.
Yeah.
The stick in High Lie is called a Zistera.
Wow.
My ass. I don't believe that.
Wow. That was was that directed at Wills? You
Oh,
think he's not doing his
I
job?
feel like we've looked that up many times, and that word he just said, I've never heard that word before.
Well, maybe there's more than one way to call it something.
Or maybe Wills doesn't have a 4.0.
On a scale of
I
100.
never said I did.
What America do we live in where Wills didn't have a 4.0 and Drew did in high school?
In America, where Donald Trump hasn't fixed the educational system yet.
Don't get it twisted. Wills is nerdy, but he was a terrible student.
Okay.
Don't get it.
Let's not get confused.
Let's not get confused.
Wills had a lot of ADD. I don't know if you did.
I, on the other hand,
Wills marched to the beat of his own drummer.
Wills reads comic books, does not translate into good grades.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not
just like Gary
What?
Ames.
nah, except worse.
Except
I was worse.
You were worse, probably. Yes, Will had some,
Yeah.
some discipline.
Yeah, there's still disappointment all over Central Virginia. Just blanketed over Virginia now, 30 years later.
But
Wow.
hey, you got your PhD.
Yeah,
I did get my PhD
okay.
by 1 point.
Oh my God, what's that, Mr. Bishop? I heard something. Was it the change music?
Somewhere, hold on.
Hey guys, Usain Bolt is training with a German soccer team.
Wow.
Okay, nice.
Okay, can I get some change music? McGregor wins the UFC 205, guys.
Now you see him. He's really fast. Now you see him. Now you not see him.
Was that because of Germany?
Yeah, he's training with German soccer team.
Get it? Now you're not seeing
That
him?
was not only a great joke.
Yeah, I was like,
Not
what?
only was that not a great joke. I mean, not only was that only was
You
that
don't
a great
know if
joke,
it was a great joke.
Not
You
only
can't
was that a
decide.
great joke, that was the best joke anyone's ever gonna make on that topic ever. Like that was.
Well,
the,
that might be the only joke
that
he ever
was
makes on that
the
topic.
Supreme Usain Bolt playing with a Germany soccer team joke.
Yeah. All right.
You know,
It took
first
a-
it was Gary, and then it was Lewis, and now it's Wilson.
What? I'm just. I appreciate.
No, the puns. It's the pun. It's me. I'm alone here. America's voting for puns, and I just didn't realize the tide had turned. That's the way it is.
Seems to be a lot of misinterpreting of what America's voting for this
Well,
week.
that's why I said it.
That was virtually a pun.
Yeah, it was sort of. Okay, can I? McGregor wins UFC 205. Anybody? Anything?
All right, nice.
Nice. Okay.
It's that Irish dude.
Wait, if Drew was here, we'd talk about it for 15
It was
minutes.
it was the first time they've ever had the pugilistic arts of that kind in Madison Square Garden.
Oh.
Really?
Well, because it used to be
Yeah.
illegal in
I don't
New
know.
York.
I don't know. I just remember hearing that yesterday on the
Although that
radio.
was
No,
probably
yeah,
a while
that
ago.
is no. Well, no, they just switched it not too long ago. That you could do mixed
Okay.
martial arts in
In
New
New
York
York?
State. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Big changes.
Mm.
Well, good for him. Change music, please. All right. Can I get a little something NFL-y? I don't know. Something that will keep Gary. Is this NFL-y?
I have
This is
no
like
idea. It's-
NFL.
Sounds like
meets
we're at
the
a
70s.
bratwurst convention.
It sounds like we're in one of those Billy D. Williams commercials for Colt 45 in the
No,
70s.
this is more German.
You're the next contestant on Can I Just Finish This?
Yeah, right. All right, guys.
Womp, 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 womp.
So last week,
What is? Well, I'm sorry. What was that music?
It's NFL music. Huh?
Okay.
now this is more what you had in mind, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, winner
The Arctic cold of Lambeau Field.
winner of last week's Pick 5, and I'm sure this will make everything better for him, Mr. Drew Harrison, everybody.
Appeared the
Yeah.
Four Horsemen.
Do you have his victory music?
Yeah,
playing?
sure.
You can play some victory music.
Can I ask you a question?
Me?
No, Blair.
Okay.
Okay, what's that?
Did he really win?
No,
Or
he
did we
w-
just lose half the entries?
He was the winner of everybody that there were
Okay.
stats for.
All right. Okay.
So he was the winner.
Okay.
I hit play.
He won.
All right.
There's no sound yet.
I see.
Okay.
See that? Wow.
Well, and while we're doing that, can you pick up the fantasy league standings there,
Yep.
Mr. Maxwell?
This is the week of the death spiral in several of the matches.
Like what?
Well, like Drew and I are in a death spiral.
Why?
Well, I'm winning by a little, but like it's close. I don't know.
Yeah. This is Drake's All the Rings. Some of the rings.
Big rings.
Big rings.
Okay.
Because he was last year's fantasy football winner in our league, and so he has rings. I don't know. It seemed like a stretch to me.
Now, you're talking about English raconteur and pirate Sir Francis Drake, who was the first person to circumnavigate the earth, right?
This is a singing guy. A guy who sings. He's got one name like Cher.
Okay, so he didn't circumnavigate the globe in the 1520s.
No.
Okay.
No. I don't think so.
All right, so with our standings, in the East,
This is not an uplifting
Right.
song.
Does this song ever? Does it have lyrics? What?
I don't know. We'd have to talk to Drew.
I'm
It's
sailing
choices
through
like
Panama. Panama. Yeah, it wasn't very exciting.
Oh, there we go.
this. Choices like this is why the Panthers aren't winning this year. What were you saying there, Will?
all right, so in the East, Alex Conti undefeated, 9-0.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I am losing horribly to him right now because projected points don't mean a thing.
Right.
Projected fantasy points, projected polling in the Rust Belt, nothing means anything
Nothing
anymore.
matters. Math doesn't count
Math
anymore.
doesn't count.
That's how Drew got his 4-0.
That's how he got his 4.0.
Drew
Yep. He
and-
played sports. Oh, he played sports all through high school. That's how he got his 4.0.
Yeah, but didn't he stop hitting his senior year or something? I heard something about
that's
that.
how he
And
got
further
his 4.0.
existence that math doesn't matter. In the East, Drew, Holpepper, and Brian Bava are tied for second place
Yeah.
at 5-4. So if they're tied for second place, you think the next person would be in third? No.
Yeah, no, it's
Blair,
me.
you're in fifth place.
I know. That's
Well, let me
how
ask
they
you a
do it.
question.
But
How
if
many?
I beat
let me,
Bava,
wait. This is a very
What?
important mathematical concept. How many people are in front of you?
4.
There's 4 people in front.
So
yeah.
you're in fifth place.
But
You
they
really-
got them all bracket. All right, they got them all
that's
sharing
how they
two.
do it. But you did not study. I was wrong.
All right.
So,
auto-drafted heroes in the West, Timmy Booth leading the West 6-3.
yeah.
And then
Really?
everyone else before him has an even worse record than out in the East. Funches,
I know. That's the.
Lord Coy, Bishop, and myself are 3-6, and
Yeah.
Kearney is at 2-7.
Somehow all the talent got put in one division.
I know, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
If I beat Bava today, then Gary, I think you might have second place. You could have second place to your own.
Assuming
Possibly.
I can beat the whiz kid,
Yeah,
mathematical genius Drew Harrison.
I know. And think of him like hiding his light under a bushel
I
like
know.
that. Oh, we got to get going. So, are there any surprises from this week before we call our guest here?
Well, yeah, Tennessee pummeled Green Bay. I don't know what's wrong with Green Bay. Tennessee
what's
scored
wrong with Green Bay?
46 points or something, like 47-25 or something like that.
That's weird.
Yeah, pummeled them.
What about you, Mr. Bishop? Any surprises? Anything about the NFL that you have found?
Well, I like that everyone has, the last I saw, that everyone had figured out the key to beat the Vikings. Like I said, last I seen that they were losing.
Yeah.
Did the Vikings lose today?
Yeah, they lost.
Oh,
to the
yes,
Redskins.
lost again.
Yeah.
Right, so that's
And I
that.
picked them to lose, and I'm going to get to play my song next week.
Oh, great.
No. What? You're afraid we'll go downhill from what we heard this week?
I'm not sure it was as bad as the Pun Fish song.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
But anyway, yeah. So Minnesota's not
And
keeping
then
up their streak.
the other eye opener was that now that Donald Trump won is president elect, God made the team named after derogatory Indian name,
Native American.
Yeah, be champion
Yeah,
victor today.
this is
in
the
a huge
world we
victory.
live in.
They're going to win the
Dave-
rest of their games.
Day 5 in Trump's America.
Yeah.
Well, he did always say that the biggest problem in America is political correctness. So whatever you think the biggest problem in America is, that's not it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
political correctness.
Real question about the Trump's America.
Oh, God.
Yes, ready.
Real question. Obama's still like president, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Until
No,
January
you take
20th.
over the next day.
No, yeah.
That would be great.
Right.
He could pardon Charles Manson today if he wanted to.
I didn't
Yeah.
know.
If Obama felt so inclined.
Okay.
No, it's more the vibe has changed. It's more of a vibe.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, guys.
So that's Obama's
So you're
fault.
saying Trump's a vibrator?
No. Oh, God, no. God,
Okay.
I imagine not.
All right.
Some store somewhere, I'm sure.
So, guys, before we call our amazing guest, do we have any other football things that we have to say before we move on?
Well, I mean, you know.
No, I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Can it just be 10 minutes of Gary just, well.
The Cowboys are playing.
Yeah, Gary's a little
Let's check
excited
that
about
score, shall we?
All right, real quick.
Real quick. I can only do it so quick. My live stats have to refresh. 60-60 between me and Hey Girly
I thought
Hey.
you meant the score of the...
I am. It's got to go through this to get to it.
All right, well, while you're doing that...
Here it is.
While you're doing that, I'll...
Cowboys 13, Steelers 15.
Uh-oh.
Death Spiral. It's Death Spiral week.
All right, guys. Well, it's time for this week's comedian guest, Brady Novak. And by the way, a great way to find all your favorite comedians on specific episodes of My Fantasy Wife or whichever podcast they appear on by downloading. You can download the app Laughable. It's awesome. You can find out more at laughable.com. So let's give it. And Gary, can you hold this just like this so he can hear us? All of us. There's a lot of technical stuff that goes on.
Just like
here.
that.
Hello.
Yes, is this Brady?
Yes, it is.
Brady, hi. You're on the air with My Fantasy Wife podcast.
I'm on. I'm turned all the way on.
You're turned all
Wow.
the way up. Well, I mean,
Well,
only you know that for
hello.
sure. But
Well, yeah, I've been sitting here in LA getting warmed up for you.
oh, wonderful. Well, before we get really going here, I'm going to do a little intro for our listeners.
Wonderful.
Comedy fans have enjoyed Brady's stand-up talents at the UCB Theater in New York City and Los Angeles, the Throckmorton Theater, and the Purple Onion in San Francisco, as well as the Comedy Store in LA and most of the improvs around the country. Brady has opened for Robin Williams, Maria Bamford, and Neil Hamburger. You're also a guest star, have a recurring role on NBC's Community. And we're a series regular on the Comedy Central Mashup, as well as on Showtime's Weeds. Everybody, give a big round of applause for Brady Novak.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a resume.
Yeah, I
Wow.
know. You know, we find that is the part that comedians enjoy most. Not so much talking to us, but we do a nice long bio.
Oh, that's not the end of the show? I'm not free to go? I thought that was it.
Well, you know, it's up to you. I mean, we can't.
Honey, I have an idea for a show. Let's just call comedians up, read them their bio, and hang up.
Yeah, that would be. It's like a pick me up.
Right.
It's like a pick me up. I'm going to tell you who's in the studio with us real quick, Brady. My husband and sports stat expert Gary Hames.
Howdy, man. I just
Gary.
want to tell you, Mr. Brady, it's a great honor to meet you. I felt
That's
really bad when
different.
you took that gunshot wound, but the way you were able to turn your life around and devote your
No,
efforts to all the
that's a-
anti-gun legislature, I'm really proud of you, and it was a good job. Thanks, man.
That is inappropriate and not the same, Brady.
Oh.
And that gentleman has passed away recently.
Yeah, well, this could be a really boring interview.
Yeah, it could be. Also, is our wow. Okay, it's been a weird day.
Well, you know what I'm upset about is they're going to let Hinckley go.
Right.
But isn't he a murderer? Because the doctor said when I died
Right.
that I died from my gunshot wound.
That's
Right.
Doesn't
correct.
that make him
Right.
a murderer?
Yeah.
Well, you may have missed the news alert that just came out, but he's actually just been named leader of the Department of the Interior. So,
Oh, wonderful. Good.
Wonderful.
Well, that will be.
so they're going to have to get him
right
out
in
for
there.
that.
Well,
Yeah.
you're in the afterlife now, so maybe you can appeal to some other authority that we don't know about.
Hey, who else is here?
Well, also here is our Hot Topics and social media maven, comedian Wills Maxwell,
How's it going?
Hi, Wills.
Nice to meet
and
you.
a huge community fan. I'll throw out there. And rounding things out is our sound engineer and man about town, comedian Louis Bishop.
Hi, Brady.
Hi,
Sorry,
Louie.
sorry, I don't have anything prepared for an intro.
You had to plug in chords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he has a real freaking job on this podcast. So Brady, it's wonderful to talk to you. And you know, we always like to ask our comedy guests. We have on comedians, but we don't want to talk to them about comedy. That would be ridiculous. We ask them what kind of sports things have they been obsessed with or are obsessed with now. And you gave me a couple of things, and one of the things I wanted to start with was
Can I just say real quick?
please.
You know those shows where comics talk about comedy?
Yes, there's a
And
lot
they
of them.
talk- Yeah, and they talk about their process.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
That would be like a magician having a podcast where he gives away his tricks.
You know, you've hit on a sore topic for Gary. Your father was a magician.
Yes, he
used,
was.
He used to.
I still have his magic trophies.
Yes, who used to go around and try to debunk con men. He was also a professor of ancient languages. He was an interesting man.
Hold on.
Was
no.
your dad
That's
Indiana Jones?
amazing. So
No, he was
Gary,
not.
he would debunk him where he would just be like,
Well, it was more
No,
like
it's-
it was really more like he's walking in the park and a little kid hears he's a magician and comes up to him, and instead he shows him how it's fake and that nobody can really do the trick.
well, comics are doing that all over this nation.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly. Mr. Bishop,
No, I have a serious question.
Okay.
What episode number is this?
this is episode 93.
So we have recorded 92 episodes.
Yeah.
And this is, hold on, Brady. This is the first that we've heard that Gary's father was a magician.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've talked about some shit, too, by the way. It's gotten...
Listen, Brady, it was nice meeting you. Fuck these guys, I'm leaving. Bye. See ya. I'm out of here.
We will bring...
No, Bish, come on.
Come on, Mr. Bishop, be professional.
I'm out of here.
No,
All
You
right.
best get back in your seat or I'll put a spell on you.
I realize that it's tempting to talk about that now.
Right, we won't, but
But we won't.
I just wanted to make sure that you guys weren't like running a bit or something.
No, it's real.
Okay.
that was a very big
It's a
thing to
real
casually
thing.
drop.
Yeah.
Gary and I both come, and we won't go into it in any detail at all,
I
but
thought we were having a guest today.
Right.
we come from colorful backgrounds. That's why we're in love. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All
So
right.
I have a question for Gary.
Okay.
Please.
Well, your father was a magician,
Yeah.
and then also a language expert.
Well, he had a PhD in classical Greek, and unlike the cute PhD that I brag about, his was a real PhD. Yeah. Yeah, he taught classical Greek.
I work with the reason why I bring that up is I just found out recently that in China they speak Mandarin traditional, and they also created Mandarin simplified. And what the government said was our language is so difficult. Let's simplify it for a group of people, so it'll be easier for them. But their intentions were really separating classes.
Ah.
So I work with subtitles with the studios and closed captioning, and we do them in Mandarin traditional and we do them in Mandarin simplified.
Really?
And which one can you read?
Neither.
Wow.
It's all
Wow.
But we have employees in Asia countries that can know all the slang and know all
Really?
the letters. But
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Is the same true for Greek?
I'm
or
not
you never
sure.
got in
I
that
think they
too?
just all died in the.
It just kind of
Yeah, it was a dead language.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
the classes were dead, and
Right.
it became a moot point.
All I remember is my dad. I would go to the college, and he would have like 4 students, and there'd be lines of thousands of students signing up for like algebra and whatever. And then his line had like 3 people in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that was probably what he wanted. So hey Brady, we're going to talk about sports a little bit. So I mean, I can go either way with it. I don't really know about sports, but Gary does, so he likes to talk about it. No, but you were telling one of the things you told me that was sports of interest in your life was that you were actually a phenomenal baseball player.
Did I say phenomenal?
No, I did. I watched a video and I read stuff. So I'm using the word phenomenal baseball player. And you maybe you could tell us a little bit about that, and then your story about getting to the state finals.
Yeah, so I grew up with a father who played college basketball and baseball.
Where did you play?
At Kansas State University.
Oh,
in
that's a real
Manhattan,
school.
Kansas.
Yeah.
The Little Apple.
All right.
They were, by the way, that was one of the few universities that went to Trump, by the way, that county.
Yeah.
So Kansas State University, and you had, and so I grew up, and then my brother played baseball at Kansas State University also, he's 5 years older than me.
Oh, wow.
So I grew up with a dad who was pretty knowledgeable of baseball. And I also had the motivation to get out of my small town in Kansas.
Right.
So I had a lot going for me.
Right.
And then I was going to go to college to play basketball and baseball, but I just chose playing baseball because I thought I just wanted to go to the pros. I was a 6'5" left-handed pitcher.
Wow.
And is that Gary?
By the way, that's the way to make a lot of money.
Oh, is
be a
that
6'5" left-handed pitcher.
okay?
Yeah, and I would have been a middle reliever.
Yeah, there's a dearth
and,
of those. You can hang around forever.
Gary, you know what all those words mean, right?
Yes.
Are you pretty impressed?
Yes. Wow.
Okay.
All right.
But so then my senior year, we're playing the state championship game, and I think at this time, I had already torn my rotator cuff, which is eventually what stopped me. But so I was at my senior year, and I would pitch, and towards the end of the year, after every game, my arm would shake uncontrollably, and I would have excruciating pain. I couldn't sleep on my left side. But so the state championship game, I started it. We had 11 errors. I let up 14 runs, or 3 of them earned, 14 runs, and we lost. And then when I went to college, I got surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Into my freshman year, and I went from the Phillies being interested in me to not taking me.
Oh,
because
geez.
around that
The San
same
Francisco
time,
Phillies? We heard about them last week.
Our guest last week. Never mind.
San Francisco Phillies,
Was not a sports expert.
Yeah.
That's not a bad. That
That's a
has
good
nice
fit.
ring
Yeah.
to it.
Could
Yeah.
happen.
It makes much sense as Los Angeles Lakers. So
That's right. That's right. And we have Silver Lake,
What is a Philly?
which they just drained, so we actually have nothing.
So you've gotten your surgery. The Phillies aren't
Yeah.
interested anymore.
It really went from, because in that time research had just come out that if you get shoulder surgery before you're 19, there's a 70% chance you're going to get it again before you're 25.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
man.
Yeah, so the Phillies went from, hey, we're really interested, to you just had surgery. Yeah, and then that was the end of that.
So right about then was when you started thinking, I better become funny.
Well, yeah, so then right about then for 3 years, I was like, I wonder how much beer I can drink.
Sure.
And then I was over at my friend's house. He had a name, Steve Balderson, written on this white erase board.
Uh-huh.
I said, who's Steve Balderson? I had never taken an acting class, have been interested in it, but never taken it. Went and auditioned. He goes, he's making a movie in Wamego, Kansas, which is outside of Manhattan, Kansas.
Mhm.
And he goes, that's who Steve Balderson is. And so I went over and I auditioned, and I got a part in the movie. And I was And then
Was that Pep Squad?
Pep Squad, right? Yeah.
Nice.
And then
I study. Go ahead.
and
Sorry,
then I talked my way onto an Ang Lee movie that was being filmed in Kansas City that summer.
Sure.
Nice.
And then I took an improv class the next year. This would be my junior year at Kansas State. The improv teacher said you should just drop out of school and move to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I did.
Not because you're any talent, they just didn't like you.
15 credit hours short from graduating, and then I left school.
Ah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
hardcore. But
My mother would not have liked you.
I feel
Well,
I
yeah,
just felt my
father-
mom get
I mean,
mad
I
at
told
me
somebody-
for hearing you say that.
Right. Right.
exactly.
I was actually talking to somebody the other day, and I said I didn't have the tools, and my dad was alive to know, like, whenever he would say, "You're not going to make money at this. It's impossible to make money. You won't succeed." I didn't have the wherewithal to say, like, "Oh, but these people think I'm funny."
right.
Right.
You know, like starting up and going, because I was in Chicago for 10 years and really never turned a profit.
Right.
You know, so it's very difficult.
Well, of course. But I mean, I accidentally went to law school and then did that for about a day and paying that off. So I mean, there's more than one way to mess that choice up. So.
Yes.
Well, that's what my mom. Yeah, that's what my mom always says. Is like, you know, if you would have stayed in school and gotten into more debt, it wouldn't have helped you.
No,
you know, like
Right.
it's,
it doesn't.
in the grand scheme, as an actor, it didn't matter much.
And you had told us too, or told me that you're really fascinated. And part of this is probably, you know, kind of overcoming all the, I'm going to guess, depression and issues when this future you thought you had kind of evaporated all of a sudden. But you're really fascinated by the psychology of sports and why. You know, why? I mean, the Cubs obviously just won the World Series. You spent many years in Chicago. But every year, your point would be that it's a different roster of guys. It's not the same dudes, you know, playing every year. It's just an endless array of bodies over the decades in the matching T-shirts. And so why do we throw over cars? And why do we, you know...
And why for professional games but not college games? Which
Yeah.
I think in college, you're so much more invested in college.
Yes, I would think. At least you went
But
there. Right.
You never see the violence that you see in professional,
Right.
quite like it is on the professional level.
Gary's
somebody
now
just
scanning his brain for
engaged.
some exception to
Well,
this rule.
we used to
Yeah.
live near the University of Maryland, and there was plenty of
yeah, there's shenanigans.
burning
That's
of,
right.
of bedroom furniture in the street there.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think it is? I mean, why do you think people get so invested?
Well, I mean, MLK said protests are the voice of the unheard. Riots are the voice of the unheard. So I imagine when the Canucks win the NHL Cup,
Right.
nobody gives a crap. So then they turn over cars and burn couches so people start caring.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
I imagine University of Maryland might have some competition with Duke and North Carolina in that
Right.
area, you know, and they're kind of like, hey, what about us? What about
Right.
us?
Yeah, we're the sort of the also rans in that
Which is
state.
why Chicago didn't do it, because everyone's a goddamn Chicago fan.
Right.
Right.
Everyone, and they get plenty of attention all the
They
time.
get so much attention.
And so much attention throughout the entire, you know, playoffs, the whole season, really. So it wasn't
Yeah.
necessary.
Are hockey riots kind of like an outlet because like white people kind of have like be heard in so many other venues, but then like when hockey team loses, like that's like your, oh well, now I know what this level of oppression feels like, and it just all comes out in one protest. Is that where that comes from?
Are you saying all hockey fans are white? Okay. The
Racist.
yeah, really well.
well, I think it is. That's,
got
you know,
awkward.
I see that.
I'm
I
not
see
saying
that-
I'm not going to say all hockey fans are racist, but I'm going to go out and venture that all hockey protest. Not all hockey fans are white. I'm going to go ahead and venture
No,
that
you
all.
said
No,
racist.
You said
I
racist.
said
Yeah, you
racist.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You know what
Let's
point I was
be
going to
clear.
make? Done.
No,
I'm done.
no, you said, but you're not going to say they're all white. But when they go, the ones who are
The
rioting,
ones who are rioting. Because I
Yes.
feel like black hockey fans, when their team loses, they're like,
I'm gonna
been through
keep
worse.
I'm going to keep a low profile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you know, we've talked about this a little bit before, but it's
So you're saying the Rodney King thing was really about Wayne Gretzky retiring?
interesting idea.
Yeah, Gary.
That's it. I'm going to yes and that as an interesting. I had never put that together.
Okay, we can fact check that.
We'll fact check that. We fact
Yeah,
check
fact
every
check
week.
that.
But it's just so interesting to me too because I the idea behind this show is that I needed a reason to listen to Gary talking about all his fantasy leagues and every sport all the time that I found interesting. And so a couple of years ago, we created this. But I don't care. So, like, I don't care on purpose. And yet, if you give me, like, a fantasy football scenario, or if you just put me, like, if I'm watching the Cubs versus the Indians, and suddenly it's the bottom of the 10th at the last game of the World Series, I'm suddenly getting all wound up about nothing. Like, I don't really care, but I'm really wound up. I don't know if that's just because I'm very simple and easily manipulated, or I'm just a hothead looking for a reason to have a fight. I don't know. But,
well, I always say because anytime I see like a 42-year-old man in my apartment screaming and yelling at the television because the Packers didn't score, I always think, like, is it because this escape is so important to you that if it's not extended or if it's not winning, then when you have to go back to the realities, it makes it even that much tougher.
Yeah. Wow, that's
well, you've clearly never watched the Packers.
Well, that's not only did that sound like an exactly correct thesis, but is also very depressing.
Look how thoughtful Bishop looks.
I know, Mr. Bishop, you look very
so thoughtful.
Right.
You're lost in thought.
I was thinking what you're saying.
Yeah. So we have we usually play a game, and often they're based on facts, and I have to look things up. But because I had talked to you a bit about the failure, shall we say, in baseball for you, and why do people get so upset when things fail, we're going to play a little bit of a different kind of game for us. We're going to go around, nothing serious, nothing too serious, but we're each going to give you sort of an epic fail in some part of our life that was, maybe it was sports, maybe it was Little League, or maybe it was something else that was judged. Maybe it was something you were getting a grade on. Maybe it was debate team. Maybe it was Dungeons and Dragons. Gary doesn't have an epic fail, so he's going to tell you about an epic success.
No, I don't know.
Does anybody? And then you're going to tell us which of these is the saddest. I don't know. Do you have an epic fail, Mr. Bishop?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Would you like to tell us about it?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
All right. Blair is passing the speaking stick over to Bishop.
Yes.
And Bishop.
Right.
Bishop.
Right. First, we all hugged.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So this is my epic fail. So with Brady's state championship in high school, when I was a junior, I played varsity football, and I didn't quite start, but I played enough, right? And we went to the state championship, and we won every single game, and then we lost in the state championship. So the following year, at the beginning of the season, I got what is called a bone infection in my foot.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
93 episodes, and we're just hearing about this now?
Right. Well, well, what I would do was...
Which bone?
It was the bone of my foot.
Okay.
There's more than one.
Yeah. Well,
there are more bones. The foot has more bones than any other part of your body.
What bone was it connected to? That'll narrow it down.
It was
the thigh bone?
Right. No,
was it connected to the knee bone?
Blair, the foot bone's connected to the ankle bone.
Well, the
not
ankle
the thigh
bone's
bone.
connected to the
fuck?
I
thought you were a lawyer.
Okay. I'm sorry, Brady. It's been a long week.
I think Gary's dad could have made that
disappear.
Right.
Well, a lot like Gary.
It's the old Shenka in the classic Greek.
Okay. Is that true?
No.
Okay. It sounded very convincing.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry, Mr. Bishop.
No,
you got a bone infection.
No, yeah, you're right. But a lot like Gary's father, I would go around and debunk other people's infections.
That's not the...
Anyways.
You call that a bone infection?
A cold? That's not bad. A cold.
Anyway, so I could not play pretty much the whole season, which I didn't play the whole season, and then we went to state championship again, and we won that year. So the year that I could play, we didn't win. We won every single game except for we lost in the state, and then the following year we lost one game in the regular season, and won every single other game. So I have a state championship ring that I basically I did nothing for that year. So that's my epic fail. So.
Oh. True. Okay, so keep that one in mind as you listen to our other failures here. Mr. Wills Maxwell, what's you got an epic fail?
Yeah, I got an epic fail. So when I was in 7th grade, I would have been like maybe 11, 12 years old. I tried out for my middle school's football team. This is a middle school that the past 3 years had not won a game.
Okay, so you think the bar is pretty low?
Bar's pretty low.
Right.
I love playing football. I've been playing with my friends. It's the first time that I'm going to be able to play on like a school team and anything because that's when the age cutoff begins. So I go out for the team. And first day of tryouts, the first thing they do is everyone go run 8 laps, 2 miles as a warm-up. This is our warm-up, is to go run 2 miles.
Had you ever run 2 miles in a row?
No, I had not.
Wow.
Okay.
I was grossly out of shape. I could not breathe. I was gasping for air. By the time that it was done with that, covered in sweat, I was the last one to finish the 2-mile run. And then we had to do everything else. We did the up downs and the tire runs. By the time we got to the tire run, I had so much sweat pouring off of me that my glasses were completely filled in, and I couldn't see, and I couldn't wipe the sweat off my glasses because my shirt is drenched in sweat.
I know exactly how you feel.
So I'm doing the tire run, and the way they do the tire run is every time you mess up the tire run,
Oh shit!
everyone has to go down and do push-ups.
Oh my god!
So every time I'm coming
everyone
around,
hates you.
Oh yeah, and every time I'm coming around to do the tire run, I'm messing up because I flat out can't see. Not only is everyone having to go down and do push-ups, I can't find a clear spot on the ground to do push-ups on because I can't see. So every time I go down to do push-ups, I'm actually like touching somebody else's shoulder or back or something because I can't see and find a clear spot on the ground to do
So
push-ups.
you're doing push-ups on human beings.
Yeah. I'm just like touching people, like sorry, just fumbling around until I can hit the ground and like finally do the push-ups that I made everyone else do, which they're done with by now. So that was like over and over again because we're just in the line.
Right.
Doing the
It was
entire
an
run.
infinite loop.
Yeah. So just miserable day. And the only people, it was a series of cuts. The only people that got cut that first round were me and one girl that came out. We were the only people that got cut that first round.
Right. Okay.
Wow. That's tough.
All right. So that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Gary, do you have one, or you want me to?
Sure. I have a 2-part one actually.
Okay.
I played the marimba, and in the 5th grade.
Oh yeah.
I didn't have a marimba at myself at that point because they're very expensive, and I was just starting out. But I had a little set of like
Your dad's
like
out trying to do extra magician tricks to
No, he
save up.
probably left by this point.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But I had a glockenspiel.
Do you think it was because of the marimba?
I had a glockenspiel. Hang
Okay.
on, the marimba comes later. And so our 5th and 6th grade band had like gotten a perfect score at the band competition for like 10 years in a row. And we had this famous in Hanover County
Right.
band director. And the day of the dress rehearsal, I didn't feel like carrying my glockenspiel to school, so I left it at home. And then they kicked me out of the competition, and then we didn't get the perfect score, and everybody blamed me.
Wow.
Yeah. And so then, cut to my senior year in high school, where now I'm playing the marimba. And my junior year, I won. I was the all-state marimba player in Virginia.
Is also a fail part? 'Cause
Yes.
we're gonna-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, senior year, I'm going out for marching band, and we have this. In fact,
Because your life is full of splendor.
right, we're going out. We had,
Magnificence.
most bands they bring the trumpet player out for the solo. I had the solo, like they rolled my marimba out on the field, and I played the solo, like up front by myself.
Right.
And so it's the first.
You're like the Bruce Springsteen
Right,
of marching
yes,
band.
Yes, and so it's the first couple of weeks we do our first competition. We had 4 or 5 competitions. I have not learned any of my music yet because I was not participating in school like my last 3 years.
Never studied.
So we weren't
Such a
doing the
waste.
part. We weren't doing the part where I had the solo. That was
So
for the,
much talent.
That was for the home like football games. But we had like 4 songs and we're marching around the field. And because of the weight of my instrument, I just stayed in the back. But since I didn't know any music, I simply randomly played like Jingle Bells or whatever I could think of, just right in the middle of it. Because you couldn't really hear it if I didn't play it that hard.
Right.
Unknown to me, there was judges walking around with microphones recording their commentary and things to give to the band directors to fix their problems. And some judge came up behind me and recorded me playing Jingle Bells in the middle of our song that had nothing to do with it and docked us like 10 points and made a comment
no.
that the marimba player didn't know what he was doing and didn't know his music and was playing the wrong song. Yeah.
Gary Haynes.
I got in a lot of trouble for that.
You were all-state marimba.
I know, and I was the reigning all-state marimba player at the time.
You were the reigning all-state
Yeah,
marimba player.
it's
Did you
true.
know that? Can you believe it took 93 episodes to get that out, Mr. Bishop?
I'm still impressed with the magician thing.
Yeah, I know.
It goes deep too. There's a lot. Okay.
I didn't realize you were a band kid too.
Oh God,
yeah.
yes. Oh yeah. Oh.
Well, that's why I didn't know my music, though. I didn't care about that. I just wanted to get laid. That was the whole point of band.
That-
There's a
you know,
lot
not
of
everyone-
easy girls
not-
in band.
Oh, my
Not everyone
gosh.
joins marching band for that, but
Yeah.
Gary Hames. All right.
Yeah, I think usually you stay away from.
Well,
it,
I had
right?
been
If
kicked
you
out
wanna
of church choir, which is where I got my girls before that. So,
Oh
There you go.
boy.
My father, he went to high school in, I don't know, the 50s or something, and he used to play 6-man football. Not 8-man, not 11-man, but 6-man football. He also played the trumpet on the marching team, the marching band. So at halftime, he'd be wearing his uniform and playing the trumpet.
wow.
Wow. He's got a lot of talent.
That's,
now we see
yeah.
where you get it. All right, I'll tell you my sad one. It's very recent.
Okay.
Or epic fail.
It's not our marriage.
No,
Okay.
no. Maybe the first one.
Right.
I did have that first one.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that. I got married and we spent a whole lot of money, and I got separated and divorced like 6 months later. So that's not
You
sporty.
can't have two.
Wait, you were married before me?
Gary had to. Gary, I was married before you. You do this to try to turn the audience
All right.
against me.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, but strike the marriage from the record. That's not competing.
Just strike that from the record.
Yes.
So this was just 3 years ago. Gary decided to take up running and thought it would be a fun thing for us to do together.
This is an epic fail.
I ran once in a race, kind of sounded like Wills's in 4th grade. It was like a fun run, and I threw up everywhere. So we trained and we did some 5Ks, and then we did a 10K.
Well, I had heart surgery. Tell the whole story.
No, I don't want this to be about poignant you.
Okay.
This is about epic fail
All
me.
right. Okay.
So, I had not had heart surgery. I am
Right.
ostensibly a reasonably healthy,
Yeah, okay.
40 whatever year
Not
old
under
woman.
your sport. It's fine.
And so so we go to do the 10K at Gary's hometown. We meet all of his friends. A friend of mine comes down to visit, and I got other people there. And we do the 10K, and I came in last, like super last. My friend who came down to visit with us on a whim decided just to walk the 10K, and she beat me. And
It was close.
It was, but she beat me. She didn't. It wasn't like she was walking at the end so that
She's a foot taller than you, in all fairness.
But it wasn't like she was running part and walking part. She 100% was casually, power walking
With
but
her
in a
longer
casual-
legs.
Yes, but the entire time there was no running. I was sweat through everything on my body, and as I'm coming back, the guy behind me in the golf cart is picking up the orange cones from the race, and they had kind of put away the finish line, and then they realized that I was still coming. They radioed ahead and kind of put it back together, and then I finished the race, but not ahead of my friend who walked. So yeah.
Do you run today?
No, I do not. I have a slip disc in my neck. I had to give it
I think
up.
it happened that day.
Yeah.
A lot of yoga, and I do just keep to that power walking.
Blair crossed the finish line,
so-
went straight to a doctor's office, like, give me a note.
Yes, right.
Give me.
Some people go for marijuana. I went for a fake doctor's note to show Gary so I wouldn't have to run
Right.
anymore. So of those 4 epic fails, Brady, which is
Well,
the
I
most epic and failure-y?
Let me, can I go over them? So we have Gary, right? I mean, Glockenspiel, that's just a cool name,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
The fact that you got to play a Glockenspiel
Sure.
is pretty cool.
I mean, that's a fail in some way, in and of itself. You're
Now,
in teenage years playing a Glockenspiel.
Mr. Bishop, the bone infection,
Yes.
your senior year, did you say you played in the state championship game your senior year?
No, I didn't play any the whole year. I was on the team, but I didn't play any the whole year. So, but I played my junior year. So,
Right.
and we went to state, but we didn't win that year.
When you did you prefer winning and not participating, or playing and not winning?
I don't think I was the reason why we lost the first time,
Right.
fella.
But was it more fun to win state and not play than not win state and play?
Oh, it was. I don't know. I would rather have played and not won than won and not played.
Yeah.
So really, it's not a fail. You got what you wanted.
Well, no.
No, that's
Yeah.
not.
Gary's very competitive in these games.
I completely relate to Blair's situation, because my sister-in-law, her husband climbs mountains and runs marathons, and she doesn't like to leave the house.
I mean, I leave
So
the
I know
house.
But now, well, she lives in the middle of Kansas. So
Yeah.
Will's middle school. Now that I think that's the worst, because when I played football, we actually had a terrible coach that made us run constantly, and our thing was we had to run 2 miles under 12 minutes in our pads until we got that. So
Jeez.
I would lose 50 pounds in the football season, because every week I'd be running to try to get under 12 minute 2 miles in shoulder pads and a helmet. So I know how terrible that is. And he's talking about his glasses
Yes.
fogging up. And what I do is I don't wear glasses, but when I wake up in the morning and there's dew, I get physically ill thinking about football practices in the morning.
Wow.
Oh, still.
Because we would be laying in that doing sit-ups and doing push-ups and just wet grass, body entire wet.
And then all the stuff, like everyone hated him.
Yes. Yes.
I mean,
It's no
everyone
fun.
hated him. All right.
As a matter of fact, I today when I think about running, I think it's torture because I had every coach made me punish me by making me run.
Right.
It's not
So
fun.
yes, Wills is the worst.
Congratulations,
Hey,
Wills.
Wills, you're the worst.
Great. Now for my bookings, I can put voted most pathetic by Brady Novak.
Biggest
my
epic
credits.
failure. Right, exactly.
That
Now,
will sell one copy.
yeah. Congratulations. Well, Brady, thank you so much. We had such a great time, and we've all learned a lot
Yes.
about each other.
Right.
And I think we can do a little healing now.
Great.
Do
I look forward to that.
you have anything you want to plug? Anything that you're going to be on, or anything coming out, or?
I can't say much, but watch Skull Island, which comes out in March 2017.
All right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, all right,
good.
cool. All right, and well, thank you so much, Brady, and hopefully we can have you on again someday.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Bye, Blair.
That was so funny. He's awesome. All right, guys, well, that is an extra long episode because we got into a lot of deep stuff, but that'll wrap us up. Thanks to our contributors, Joe Perot and Wills Maxwell, and download all our episodes on iTunes or Stitcher or YouTube. Thank you, Mr. Bishop, for taking us out with the jazz trumpet stylings of Mr. Al Hurt.